Stay tuned for this crazy makeover on these 1960s nightstands that apparently a lot of people had growing up. When I posted these on my Instagram account, I got hundreds of messages saying they had the same exact ones. I found them on Facebook Marketplace for $40, and I had no idea what shape they were in until I picked them up. But they had some dovetail drawers, so I decided, you know what the heck? They have flat fronts. I think it's going to be a really fun, cool makeover. When the drawers have these flat fronts, you can do so many fun things. So let's get started. So these nightstands had dovetail drawers made from solid wood, so I thought the entire nightstand would also be made from solid wood. So my original plan was to get these down to bare wood and go from there. I found that the nightstands were covered in this plastic material, almost like thermofoil that they put on cabinets to protect them. So I had to remove all of that first, but I was still hopeful that there was some solid wood underneath. So I tried everything to get it off, and I had never seen anything like it. It was almost like it was made of this plastic material, at least on the tops and sides. And I found that the drawer fronts were actually made of MDF. So it's like they put a sheet of MDF over the solid wood that was underneath. So I was just really confused, and I decided, you know what the heck, we're just gonna paint these. So I started by cleaning them off really well. And when I was cleaning, this little plastic piece in the middle, I could tell was sliding around. So I decided to take it off and found that you can actually switch the different colors here. So it's not just one strip of pink. So if you wanted a yellow room or a blue room, you could easily change it up depending on what you were going for. So I thought that was really cool. Just not what I wanted for these new nightstands that I was making over. So to prep for paint, I grabbed my sander and some 220 grit sandpaper to really rough up the surface to allow the paint to really adhere well to, especially on this type of surface, just because you want to create that ultimate adhesion so that your paint, whenever you do go to paint, doesn't peel or chip away.
I'm using Ben Shellac primer, which is great because it ensures that the paint adheres perfectly, even to tricky surfaces like this. And then I just make sure to evenly apply a nice consistent base, and I love using a roller to apply Ben Shellac. It is a really thin consistency, so a roller seems to work best for me. And if you remember the middle piece from the nightstands, I wanted to reattach it permanently, so I just primed it like the rest of the piece. Then I used some Gorilla Glue and a few nails from my nail gun to just lock it back into place. The Gorilla Glue is strong enough to hold it, but the nails just help to reinforce everything. Once everything was securely attached, I used some caulk to fill in the seams and to give the piece a really smooth finished look. It's a small step, but it really makes a big difference when it comes to the final result. Now for the fun part, painting. I am using Melange paint that has a built-in top coat in the color Jet Black, and to apply it, I'm using my Home Rate Super Finish Max paint sprayer. It gives a flawless finish, but there are just a few things to keep in mind when using a paint sprayer. One key thing is to remember to keep your sprayer moving in long, even passes. You don't want to linger in one spot or you'll end up with drips. It's a great paint sprayer for a beginner, and it's really inexpensive. I have it linked below. And I wanted to add a fun modern design because these nightstands are mid-century modern, so I thought it would be a fun touch. I measured out the center of each drawer and cut some 1/2 inch red oak trim at a 45-degree angle. I then placed the center of that 45-degree angle on the center line of the drawer, and I glued it down with some Loctite glue. I then used a spacer of that same trim and to measure out the next piece so it was all even, and then I cut it at that same 45-degree angle until I got the design I was going for, and I just glued and designed along the way. After the drawer fronts were done, I removed the legs from the nightstand to make them easier to sand nicely if they were stained in the same color as the wood trim I just applied to the drawer fronts, which I did end up staining in the same color, so everything matched. And the color that I used is called Aged Oak, and it's a gel stain by Minwax.
Then I installed the legs back on, and here is the finished piece. I love it so much. It's so drastic from what they were before, but the black and the stain color aged oak go so well together, and the design just really draws your attention and really makes it pop. I hope you guys liked watching this makeover. Please subscribe if you want some more fun makeovers like these. Bye!